Hey guys, it's Rachel. So this is my 7 favorite books of all time. This video is going to be completely different than Sierra's because we're very different people, which sort of is why we get along so well. First thing that's really different is I read on a Kindle, which is sort of like one of the biggest faux pas in any book lover's life. But I'm not so much of a book lover, so that's probably why that's the case. So I also have to tell you that like I am maybe the ultimate white girl. Like all of these books are so cliche and whatever. So just so you're prepared ahead of time if that sort of thing makes you mad, because I know it does make some people mad. This is not the video for you, and you're not obligated to watch it at all. So you can click out or whatever. So yeah. So I will get started. So my first here, I'll go backwards like Sierra. So my 7th favorite book would be Looking for Alaska by John Green. And I just think that book is really, it's definitely unique in the way that like the big thing happens in the middle rather than the end, which I think is actually a tactic he used so that people couldn't like look to the back and know what happened. So I think that's clever. I like this book mostly because it's by John Green, which is like a horrible answer, but John Green was really the first author to get me into books and that sort of thing. I mean, I still don't love them or anything like that, but definitely he got me reading, which is a good thing. My 6th favorite book is also by John Green, and that's Paper Towns. And they just made a movie, so that's fun. And Sierra and I actually saw the movie together. I usually like movies better than books, and I have to say I probably liked the movie a little bit better than the book. But I still really like the book. It's definitely an interesting book, and now I live in Orlando, and it's set in downtown Orlando, so that's something that's pretty cool. My 5th favorite book would be the One Direction book, because I'm a white girl, and I love One Direction. And I think it was just a cool insight to their lives and that sort of thing. And definitely, if you're interested in pop culture, like I very much am, it's a cool thing to read, and I really like books like that, which sort of leads me on to my 4th favorite book, which would be the Kardashian book, which is like pretty bad, but I have a real obsession with the Kardashians. I even have like a sticker on my computer that says, "On Sundays we keep up with the Kardashians." And it's like an embarrassing guilty pleasure type of thing, but I'm like, no shame, who cares. I sit in my dorm, and there's like this little common area with like a TV, and I don't have a TV in my room because I don't really know why I don't have a TV in my room, but I don't. And so I sit in the common area with the TV, and I like make all my friends sit there and watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians with me. So that's what I do on Sunday nights if you're ever looking for me. My 3rd favorite book is also TV personality type of book, and that's Ellen's book. Ellen's book just sort of makes you laugh and it makes you happy inside, and I think that's definitely important. Some books are pretty dark and like bad things happen, and it's like they're good and they're intriguing, but I think that it's important to read a book that just sort of makes you laugh and nothing bad is going to happen, and you don't have to like wait for the bad part, because really nothing bad happens in that book. She also gives a shout out to Sierra in my home state, Colorado, so that's pretty fun. Actually, so it's like, I think it says something like, unless you're sitting on a bench in Colorado, and I was sitting on a bench in Colorado when I read that line, and I was like, hey, I am doing that. So that was something cool and like kind of personal. But I love Ellen a lot, and I think she's like such a great, giving, kind person, and I think we definitely need more people like her in the world, because why not? And definitely like her book shows that, and it gives coloring pages, and there's jokes, and it's just like a feel-good, happy book, and I think something like that is really needed in the world because we don't have a lot of feel-good, happy things. So my 2nd favorite book isn't really just one book. So really late to the game, I started reading the Harry Potter series, because my school does a lot with Harry Potter. Like we have the Quidditch team, and we have a system that's supposed to be set up sort of like Hogwarts houses, and I was like, okay, before I go to college, like, I should probably read these books just so I know what I'm talking about. And I'm right by Harry Potter World, and, like, that's a place that I really like to go to. So I was like, maybe I would enjoy it more if I actually read the books and that sort of thing. So I started reading the books over the summer, and I was just obsessed. Like, it's sort of like a whole magical world that you just sort of get thrown into, and I've never really had a book make me feel like I was in that world. And then I started having dreams about it because I have really vivid dreams. It's like a fun fact about me. My dreams get crazy. But anyway, so I have read up to book 4. I'm still in the process of reading book 4, but I don't really have that much time because as a college student, you don't really have that much free time for reading. Don't let that discourage you from going to college at all, but just in my experience, I'm not an English major or anything, and the English class I took was a writing class, so we really didn't do much reading or anything like that, but definitely go to college. But yeah, so back to the point. I really just love the Harry Potter books, and they're so fun, and like it's a whole community and a whole culture, and people are really supportive, and like you can really get into it and that sort of thing, and it's definitely like a cool thing, and you just sort of feel like you're in this whole other world. And even if like that's never happened to you with books, you'll still feel like that because that's my experience. My favorite book of all time, you're gonna be really impressed with this one, guys. Like, this is ultimate white girl, but it's The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. So, this was actually the first John Green book that I read, and as I said before, John Green was like the first author to get me into reading, and so that's why it sort of holds a special place in my heart. It's a book that I think everyone should read, even if they don't think they should read it because they're not a white girl. I think it has like a good message because it shows that sick kids are not only just sick, and I was a pretty sick kid growing up. I mean, I never had cancer, but I spent a lot of time in hospitals and that sort of thing. So I think it definitely has a good message that you can be more than just like your disease, and you can have more of a life outside of like just being sick, you know? I mean, it is about kids who are sick, and so that definitely comes into play as it would with anyone who is sick. But I think it's just really powerful and that sort of thing. I did see the movie, and it's one of the few movies that I preferred the book, so that's telling you something. But yeah, so those are my top 7 books. This video was about half the length that Sierra's is, because she probably likes books about 5,000% more than I do, so it shows a little bit. But yeah, so tune in next week. I don't actually know what we're doing, but it'll definitely be something fun, and be sure to check out Sierra's video when that happens. Bye!